Sorry about that. I started a new one because my phone was oriented the wrong way. So I'm starting a Uber again. But thankfully I hadn't gotten very far into the video. So starting again. Now I'm trying to find it so I can okay. Here we go. See if anybody wants to join me. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share this in my group. Just so people know that I'm doing it. Oh, geez, I don't know what just happened here. Try again. There we go. I think it's going to work this time. Okay. It doesn't seem like anyone is watching yet, so I'm just going to give it a minute. If you are watching, go ahead and say hi in the comments so that I know you're here. Oh, Kelly, hi. Oh my goodness. Were you watching my first attempt when I just abruptly ended the video and started over? Sorry about that. Yeah, my grid paper's a mess from yesterday when I was talking about the silicone craft sheet. Good. I'm glad I could make you laugh. So, I took muscle relaxer last night around 9:30, and it tends to affect me for at least 12 hours. So it has not really worn off. So if I sound a little weird today, that's why. I am super relaxed. Okay, so we're going to do Faker Shaker card. And the technique has you using, from what I have learned, where did I put that? Oh boy. I just had them yesterday. Well, oh, here they are. Okay, so Stampin' Up! Has these clear medium envelopes, and they come in a pack of 50, and you can actually mail a card in these envelopes. So you would just take your card. So here's a cute little card. And instead of using this envelope, you can put the card in here, and then you seal it up, and you put an address. You can either stick another card inside here with the address on it, or you can use an address label and put it on here and put your stamp and mail it. And that's pretty neat. Then your art is being enjoyed by everyone that sees this card. The postman, the post office, everybody. So that's kind of fun to do that way. You can also, another thing I do with these is I will put my cards, I can put my cards in them to protect them. So you can put your whole card and envelope in here. You can store your handmade cards in these envelopes and it'll protect them from getting messed up. So that's another nice use for them, especially if you have a bunch of cards in a box or something, and you don't want them to get messed up. So there. See, the whole thing will fit in there. This is another way you can gift a card to someone too for them to use, to put them in this envelope. And then you peel the sticker off and you can stick it down. So a lot of people are using these envelopes for the Faker Shaker card, which makes a big shaker. But I'm going to use a paper pumpkin bag from Gifts Galore Paper Pumpkin, which was our most recent paper pumpkin. It came in this cute box, and then it had like these like snowmen in there, and gifts and trees, and you're supposed to make a little gift box with it. So it has these bags in there to put a treat like popcorn or something like that. But we're going to use it for a Faker Shaker card. So first thing I need to do is pull out one of these bags. So I got one of these bags, and then I'm going to measure it. And this is 3 inches wide, just about. So it looks like it's slightly under 3 inches wide. And of course it's really long, and I'm not going to want it to be really long. So I think I'm going to cut it at what would look good. Would be a nice rectangle. That would be kind of a long rectangle. You could make like a slimline Faker Shaker card, which might be kind of cute. So I could do 5.5. Actually, that would work. Let's see. 5.5, 5, 4.5. Okay, I think I'm gonna do, let me get a card base first. Let's start with the card base. That'll help me out. So, ooh, I think I'm gonna use, oh, this is perfect. I have a real red one right there. Okay, so we'll do the real red card base, because that's what I have sitting right here. And so you cut your card base. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and then you fold it in half at 4 1/4. Okay, so this is a piece of cardstock cut in half and then scored in half, basically. Get my bone folder out. I love that thing. This one I've had this one for a really long time. The Stampin' Up! Logo has worn off of it. Okay, so then I can look at that, and I'm going to make a mat for my card. So I'm going to use shimmer white cardstock. So here's some shimmer white cardstock. And let's see. I'll just make a normal mat I'm trying to think about this. Let me think about this, because this would be 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 4 1/4 by, okay. Yeah. My brain is feeling kind of sludgy. Alright, so we're just going to get this out and make a mat. I'm just going to make a normal card mat. Actually, I think I'm going to do 3 1/4 by 5 for a mat. So 3 1/4 by 5. Here we go. So I just cut this paper at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Okay. I'm going to have a nice wide mat on my card, which is really pretty. So and it's shimmery. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Okay, here we go. Somebody just sent me a message. Distraction. All right, so get that glued down. That's going to be cute. And now I'm going to see what I want to do about this. I probably didn't need to use a shimmer cardstock, but it was right there, so there you go. Okay, I'm going to look at my stitched rectangle frames and see, because I'm going to make a window. I want to see, like, okay, this one would be just the right one for the inside of the window. Nope, too big. All right, so I'm going to use, let's see, this is the 1/2 size in from the big rectangles, and then the one right after that, because I'm going to use them to create a window. Okay, so I've got my 2 stitched rectangles. These are called rectangle, wait, what are they called? Rectangle stitched. Oh, I thought they were called stitched rectangles, but they're called rectangle stitched. And you've got all of these dies, and these big ones, I'm taking the 3rd and 4th one in from the biggest. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to use those 2. And I'm going to make a window for my shaker. So I'm going to set this aside. Okay, so this is the, you got the rectangles, so the largest rectangle, and then the one after that, and then I'm using the 2 in the middle. So if you're going from larger to smaller, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 3rd and 4th rectangle in. Because it will fit and make a nice window for the shaker card. Okay, so let me pull out my Big Shot. Hi, Mary. So here's my Big Shot and my platform. I haven't gotten the Stampin' Up! Machine yet, but it's definitely on my list of things to get. So let me see. I'm gonna make a window, and I don't think I have a big enough red piece of paper, but I'm gonna look real quick. I don't think this one's big enough, but it might be. Actually, I think I can make this work. Okay, so I got a piece of real red scrap and my 2 rectangle dies. So what I'm going to do is put this rectangle die on the paper and hope that my paper is big enough. I think so. Okay, and then I'm going to put this one right in the middle. And what this is going to do is create a frame. Okay, so there you go. Got cardstock, and you line up your 2 rectangles to make a frame. Okay, and then you're going to run that through. Uh-oh, there we go. Run that through the die cut machine. And let's see if it did it. It did. So you see the cute little window frame, and then you have another little piece of paper. And wow, I really made that piece of scrap work. Okay, so I'm going to get my Big Shot out of the way. There we go. So now we have a little window, and this window should be big enough for our bag, and it is definitely big enough for our bag. So there we have it. Now, I would use this piece of paper here, but I think it's not quite as big as I'd like it. No. Okay. So the next step is we have our card base. We have our frame. So we're going to set that aside. And now I need a piece of paper to go inside my shaker. But first I'm going to put my dies away because I don't want to lose them. So I'm going to put them away. Now if you buy dies, they don't come with this magnet sheet in here, but I highly recommend using magnet sheets to keep your dies nice. Alright, so now I need a piece of card to go on the inside of this, and I think that I'm gonna do I have this retired snowflake paper, but you can use whatever Christmassy DSP that you have. I'm gonna go ahead and just use this, and I know that my bag is three inches wide, so I'm gonna cut this at 3 inches. And then I'm gonna make my shaker. Let's bring our window in here and see how long it is. So this window that we made is it is just under 4.5 inches. So I'll just make my paper 4 1/4 just to keep it simple. So 3 by 4 1/4 is the piece of paper that you need. 3 by 4 1/4. And that will work just fine behind your window. Okay, so if I take this piece of paper and slip it into the bag, I'm going to shove it all the way down to the end as far as it will go. I'm going to trim off a little bit of this, a lot of the bag. I want a little bit hanging off so I can tuck it under and glue it. So I'm going to cut my bag at 5 1/4 from the bottom. So here's the bottom of the bag, 5 1/4. Here's the top of the bag, and I'm just going to cut this piece off. So this is what I have. Okay, so what we've done now is we've made a piece of DSP that is 3 by 4 1/4 length, stuck it in the bag, and trimmed off the bag to 5 1/4. I kind of wish I would have done 5 1/2, but it will work. We made a window using the 3rd and 4th from the largest rectangle frames. So here's our little window, and we have a card base of real red and shimmery white cardstock for the card base. So now we're at the point where we need to put some sequins in here. So I'm going to grab my subtle shimmer sequins. Okay, and I'm just going to open this up and dump some of these in there. Okay, and you can put as many as you, or as few as you like, but you can see that they're shaking around in there. Okay, and they're a little bit staticky. All right, so there you go. And now we're going to seal this up. So to seal this up, I'm going to use tear tape. And I'm just going to go across this flap that I cut so that I can fold it over. Just so you know, this is the first time I've ever made one of these faker shakers, and I'm doing it on camera. So I'm learning, and you're learning along with me. I just took a sip of my coffee. Okay, trying to wake my brain up. So I'll use my take your pick tool to peel the backing off of the paper, and then we'll just fold this over. Yeah, I should have given myself a little bit more to work with, but it'll work. I'm gonna glue that. So we're gonna have to do that twice because the bag is still wanting to be open. So we'll just put another piece of tear tape down to get the rest of that folded over. Okay. This is supposed to be tear tape, and it was having a hard time tearing. So we'll get our, rub that down really good. Because if you don't, you're just going to try to peel it right back off the bag. Okay. Why won't this tear off? There you go. So we're going to go ahead and tack down the rest of that flap. There, okay. So now it's closed. Make sure that that's closed completely, because you don't want your sequins. Yeah, I was busy with other projects this week, and I wanted to do this, and I kind of just forgot to practice. So I don't know if brave's the right word, but here we go. Okay, now we're going to, we have this extra piece down here, so I don't really want that. So I'm going to put tear tape on this end as well and tape that end down. Okay. I think I'm almost done making Christmas cards. I did my Christmas card stamp-a-stack and made all my gingerbread Christmas cards, and now all I have left are my snow place things that I cut out, but I might save those for winter cards because I have plenty of Christmas cards now. So we're gonna take this flap that's at the bottom of the bag and fold that over. Okay, there. So this is what we have now. We have this cute shaker. Now, if you wanted to, this flap is open. I mean, it's not open, but it's from the gusseted part of the bag. So you have that there. You could glue that down, but it's not really necessary. So, isn't that cute? I mean, that is so cute. So now we're going to put it onto our frame. And this is where you're going to need that silicone craft sheet, because the frame is narrow and your tape or glue or whatever is going to could possibly make a mess. So I think I'm out of tape runner, so I might have to use my tear tape still, or some liquid glue, or some glue dots. You know what? I think I'm going to use glue dots. Oh, I have some leftover skinny strips from a paper pumpkin. Yes, the silicone craft sheet. It's my favorite. Here we go. So I have these left over from a paper pumpkin. I'm going to use them. And you don't have to cover the whole thing, but a tape runner would be really good, or glue dots, or tear tape. This is kind of like tear tape, but in little tiny strips. And you don't have to cover the whole thing with glue either. So I'm just going to put a little strip. Another thing that would have been useful here is the Sizzix adhesive sheet. You could have put the paper on it and run it through the Big Shot, and then this whole frame would have been a sticker. So those are kind of neat. All right, I'm going to peel the paper off. But I don't have any right now. I need to order some Sizzix adhesive sheets. They're great for stuff like this. So we'll peel that off. Got one more. I just realized I never turned my light on. I don't know if it makes a big difference or not, but okay, there's that. So now I'll get my shaker in my frame and get it where I want it to go, and then we'll just stick it down. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Look at that. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So this is going to go on here. I think that I'm going to add... Max, what are you doing? I'm going to add some ribbon. So let's see, what ribbon do I want to... Ooh, maybe this sparkly ribbon to go with all of the sparkle. It wants to not come to me, so I'm gonna help it out, okay? Yes, I am gonna do that. Okay, so more tear tape or glue dots. Or you could use, honestly, if you're sticking your ribbon to the back of your card, you could use even Scotch tape. But I don't have any Scotch tape on my desk at the moment, so I'm going to use my tear tape again. I love tear tape for ribbon. I know that my ribbon isn't going to fall off, so there's that. Okay. My snips. There we go. Oh my goodness, so cute. Okay, so now I'm going, oh, I can really see the shimmer on my shimmer white paper, so I'm really happy now that I chose that. Now we're going to glue the shaker to the card. And you could use tape runner for this too, or your tear tape, or you could even use dimensionals if you want to pop it up. So if you want to pop it up, go ahead and use dimensionals. I don't want my shaker coming off, so I'm going to use a lot of tape. Okay. This is going to be adorable. I am excited about it. Come on. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So cute. I'm excited. I'm going to put a knot down here. This ribbon is kind of hard to make bows with, so a knot is perfect. Okay, and now we just want to embellish this card, and there's a lot of ways that you can do that. You can use any kind of die cut that you might have. You know, I could put my deer on there. I could put my polar bear on there. These are just things I have sitting on my desk. You could put a gingerbread cutout on there if you have any gingerbread DSP. I had all these things cut out from before. So I have all these little guys. And I could put a snowman on there. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. But I wanted to show you that I used, so there's these embellishments, these snowflake embellishments in the catalog, and I punched them all out. So you get a pack of like 24 of them. So there's these cute little snowflakes. Oh my gosh, you could put a little snowflake on there. I'm definitely doing that, putting a snowflake on there. But I had a bunch of leftover paper from it, and from that leftover paper, I used the Snowman Builder Punch and punched out a shimmery snowman. So I could use that, and you know, you could build a snowman, put a little hat on there. But I don't really want to do that right now because I'd have to make his arms and stuff. So I'm just going to use one that's already made. So maybe I'm just going to use this guy because he's super cute. All right, so to put my snowflake on, I'm going to use a dimensional. And the dimensionals fit just right on the back of these snowflakes. It's almost like the back of the snowflake was designed with the dimensional in mind. Okay. I'm loving the red with the blue on here. It's making me very happy. I don't want my snowflake to come off the edge of the card, so I'm positioning it where it's going to fit just fine. And then I'm going to put my snowman on him, but I feel like he's a little flimsy, so I'm going to back in with a little bit of cardstock. But like I said, you could use any embellishment you want in that corner. And my DSP that I chose is background enough. You could, before you put that piece of DSP in the baker shaker, you could create a little scene on it with stamps or whatever. So you could stamp a little scene on it. You could use just plain cardstock for that. Stamp a little scene on it and then tuck that into the card, into the bag to make the shaker. So then you'll have a cute little background. But the reason I chose the Snowflake DSP, which is a retired paper, but we have some similar paper. The reason I chose that is because it already created a background. It's got snowflakes coming down. So I glued my cutout on a piece of red cardstock and then just cut around it to leave a little bit of that red showing. And my finger is falling asleep for some reason. Oh my goodness. Okay. And because this is like a slippery surface, I'm just going to continue using my tear tape or glue dots so that he sticks. Okay, and we'll stick him on the snowflake. And then all we have left to do is a sentiment. And I am just loving this card. Okay, so let me get, I have some little sentiment flags already cut from the mini messages die. You can cut out a bunch of different little sentiments. You know what? I could make this into a thank you card and put thank you ever so much on there. It would be cute if he was holding that in his hand. Thank you ever so much. But I think I'm going to do something different. Okay. I'm kind of loving this one. This little guy. This little flag is cute. Or I can put it up in the corner. Yes. That's where it's going to go. So I need to cut some more of these, and it's just so much fun just to run that mini messages die through the Big Shot with white paper and Yep, it works out. Okay. So what do I want this to say? Well, I'm going to get the stamp set that kind of coordinates with that snowman. There it is. Because there's a cute tiny little stamp in there. I could do a happy birthday card. I could do season's greetings. I think I'm going to make this little winter birthday card. Happy birthday. Season's greetings. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and stick with season's greetings this time. So this is from Penguin Place, which Penguin Place is adorable, and it's going to be in our next winter. It's going to come back in our holiday catalog. So I'm very, very happy about that. Okay. And we're going to use some, we could use Misty Moonlight. I think I'm going to use Misty Moonlight for the sentiment. Just to tie in some of that blue. There we go. Season's greetings. So cute. And I'm going to take my real red marker and color this flag. So it looks like I have a piece of red paper behind my sentiment. And then another little trick I like to do is if you take your marker and go behind your paper, you can give it a little accent of color, and you're not going to accidentally slip and mark the front of your paper. There we go. Oh my goodness, that is so cute. All right, and I'm going to use a dimensional for that. Or actually, I'm going to use 2 dimensionals for that. And there you go. There's your Faker Shaker card. Isn't that cute? I hope that you will try this technique. Like I said, you can use the treat bag from Paper Pumpkin. You can also use these clear envelopes. If you use the clear envelopes, obviously it's going to cover your entire card, but you can still create your window with the frame, with the rectangle frames, and it'll be an amazing card. So there you go. Thank you for joining me this morning for Coffee and a Card, and I hope that you will give this a shot. Happy stamping!